Bullied Kid Prepares for Ice Age. Zhang Yi said, "Is it more comfortable than the mansion I live in now?" Bian Junwu replied, "Tianhai City is not a safe place. Beneath it lies the Oriental China Sea. Once the ice breaks, the city will be swallowed in no time. There are also enemies who may come from the other side of the sea. Only the central zones are relatively safer." "Have you thought about this?" Zhang Yi responded, "No one can predict the future. Let's wait for that day to come." Bian Junwu sighed. "I think I've said enough. I won't bother or persist on this matter. But if you feel the need to contact me, you can." He stood up. A few moments later in the living room, Zhang Yi said to Bian Junwu, "Let's eat together now that you're here." Bian Junwu shook his head. "Don't worry about us. We've got our military supplies and there's still a lot to do." Turning to his team, he added, "This is enough resting time. Let's move out." His team nodded and said to Zhang Yi and Dr. Joker, "Thank you for your hospitality." Woody looked at Zhang Yi and grinned. "In the future, can we face off in a match?" Bian Junwu scolded him. "You silly brat. Look at the time. Stop with the nonsense." A few moments later, Dr. Joker whispered to Yang Mi, "That person has a heavy killer aura." Yang Mi nodded. "I sensed it from this far. It doesn't feel like anything we faced before." Zhang Yi added, "Well, I'm glad we're not enemies. Otherwise, we'd be in serious trouble." Yang Xingxin interjected, "But with only 7 people here, it won't be easy to solve the zombie crisis." Zhang Yi turned to her. "Xingxin, what are your thoughts?" Yang Xingxin explained, "The Jiangnan region didn't send them here to solve the zombie crisis outright. They're probably just a vanguard force. Once they identify the causes, they'll likely send more troops for a large-scale attack. When that happens, the entire power dynamic in Tianhai City will change, and we'll be caught in the middle." Zhang Yi considered this. "That's a possibility." Chunlei asked nervously, "When the time comes, they won't kick us out, right?" "There's a chance they might not," Zhang Yi replied. Yang Xingxin added, "Then it might not be so bad. But let's say the expedition team realizes the zombie crisis is too costly to resolve. That would make things even worse." Zhang Yi thought to himself, "Damn, this must be why Bian Junwu invited me to Blizzard City. He was trying to help me by giving me an escape route. It would be better if the crisis were resolved now, but that's easier said than done." Dr. Joker chimed in. "As we know, both zombies and rats gather underground in such numbers that they've overrun the metro stations. With just us, it's impossible to resist the zombie swarm. Our only chance would be to find the zombie king and eliminate it. There's nothing we can do but wait for the Jiangnan region to assist us." "Dear, don't stress yourself. We have enough active resources to hold on." Zhang Yi reflected, "Our fear stems from the unknown. We know too little about zombies. What is the zombie king? Is it a mutated organism that became intelligent, or the evolution of a superhuman?" Chunlei speculated, "Based on their behavior, it seems they're not connected to other organizations." Yang Xingxin cautioned, "But we can't be sure. They may have suffered like us, but there's no way to know if they were involved. For instance, the Shishan base conducted human experiments on their own people. It's possible other bases did the same, leading to the rise of zombies." Zhang Yi concluded, "Let's wait and see. We need to ensure the agents sent by the Jiangnan region are as competent as we think. Their combat expertise, advanced superhumans, and superior technology make them our best hope. Only if they fail should we start planning our next move." Meanwhile, at the Snowflower Cult headquarters, Yuan Kongye turned and asked, "What is it this time?" Zheng Yishan replied, "The Jiangnan region has sent some dangerous individuals. Their leader, Bian Junwu, is someone we should be cautious of." Yuan Kongye frowned. "The Jiangnan region, will this affect us?" Zheng Yishan nodded grimly. "The current situation in Tianhai City will impact the surrounding areas. If they deploy troops, it will hinder our sex development in the future." Bian Junwu added as a warning, "If this issue cannot be solved, the Jiangnan region will use its last resource." Yuan Kongye murmured, "Last resource." Zheng Yishan exclaimed, "We cannot just stand still." Yuan Kongye nodded. "I'm afraid we're not the only ones concerned about this." Zhang Yi, Xiao Honglian, Wei Dinghai, and Xing Tian all want to avoid that outcome. At the substation, Bian Junwu's teammate observed, "It looks like the ground was pierced by a large amount of seawater, which then froze and expanded." Bian Junwu nodded with admiration. "Amazing! That guy is a genius." Woody, unimpressed, scoffed, "Boss, is it really worth the praise? This looks like a pretty normal method. If I had space-related abilities, I would have figured out how to block this station too." But this guy is only doing this much to ensure his own safety. He hasn't even dealt with the main issue. What's so great about it? Lieutenant Chang King cut in. Woody, you're as full of yourself as always. Our captain has his reasons for praising him. You need to learn to recognize others' worth. Woody shrugged. I'm not trying to undermine his work, but if I were in his place, I'd have smashed all those zombies myself. Bien Junwoo raised an eyebrow. Oh, are you that confident? Of course I am, Woody boasted. Bien Junwoo leaned in slightly. But do you even know how powerful the Zombie King is? Woody hesitated. How could I know if I've never seen the thing? Bien Junwoo smirked. Well, Zhang Yi and his team took out an entire horde without a single loss. Your obsession with skills is making you miss what's important. It's not just about your abilities, it's about how you use them. Zhang Yi's greatest asset is his mind. Woody rolled his eyes. And what if he's just a smartass? If he needs a partner, he'll still look for a strong fighter. Meanwhile, we're left carrying our own supplies. Bien Junwoo chuckled. All right, let's go see for ourselves how the swarm behaves. En route to Yangsheng Base, Lieutenant Chang Qing asked, Captain, where are we headed? To Yangsheng Base, Bien Junwoo replied curtly. At Yangsheng Base, the team surveyed the surroundings. Bien Junwoo activated his telescope mode. Nearby, Xiao Honglian shouted to her team, Quick, move out from there, as a swarm of zombies advanced. Xiao Meng handed Bien Junwoo a ration pack. Captain, please eat this. A red-haired man analyzed data on his laptop. Based on intel, the largest attack involved about 10,000 zombies. There must be a limit to how many zombies the Zombie King can control at once. Or perhaps the process of turning corpses into zombies is slower than expected. We could exploit this opportunity to attack their base, eliminate the Zombie King, and disrupt their coordination. Bien Junwoo ordered, Prepare for an imminent battle. According to Zhang Yi, there are bronze-armored zombies underground, and the Zombie King's abilities remain unknown. Woody scoffed again. Boss, what kind of threat could those dead things pose? The underground is an open space, they won't stand a chance against me. Lieutenant Chang Qing shot him a stern look. Woody, we're not here to fight everything in sight. It doesn't matter how many you kill if the Zombie King escapes. Remember, our goal is the king. Sorry, Woody mumbled. I got carried away. At the metro station entrance, the team disembarked their vehicle and armed themselves. Lieutenant Chang Qing readied his spear while Xiao Meng advanced toward the entrance. Using her clairvoyance skill, she peered into the tunnels. There's a small number of zombies inside, but none have engaged in combat, she said. I can't sense any special individuals yet. Bien Junwoo nodded. Let's move. Inside the tracks, Xiao Meng suddenly froze. Found it. There's a larger concentration of zombies up ahead. That must be their base. Bien Junwoo asked, Did you see their king? Xiao Meng hesitated. The Zombie King. Is that it? She paused, trying to interpret her vision. Sorry, the only thing I saw was a white monkey. A white monkey? Bien Junwoo repeated in confusion. Let's clear the area and capture the monkey alive. Bai Li and Wu Di, handle the cleanup. Xiao Meng, keep an eye on the zombies and alert me if there's anything unusual. The rest follow me. The team responded in unison. Yes, sir. Lieutenant Chang Qing charged ahead, his spear emitting a blast that tore through the swarm, carving a clear path. Woody followed suit, unleashing energy spheres that exploded among the zombies. Lieutenant, you're too slow, Woody taunted. Watch how it's done. He charged his powers, forming concentrated balls of energy before firing them with precision, piercing through the horde. Ha ha ha! I'm the emperor of this battlefield, he declared. Suddenly, a bronze-armored zombie emerged and lunged toward them. Woody grinned. So, this is the infamous bronze-armored zombie? Let's see how tough it really is, Bien Junwoo interrupted. Take a break, Woody. Reluctantly, Woody stepped back. All right, I'll leave it to you. Bien Junwoo ordered, You can all take one, as he shot a bronze-armored zombie directly in its eye. The creature flinched but didn't fall. Undeterred, Bien Junwoo kept firing, targeting its body relentlessly. Kong Sheng and Lieutenant Chang Qing charged forward. Kong Sheng leapt onto the zombie, landing a devastating blow that cleaved its shoulder in half. Damn, you're tough, Kong Sheng muttered, gritting his teeth. A black-haired rifleman followed up with a precise shot to the zombie's chest, leaving a gaping hole. In times like these, he said, reloading, a helping hand is a blessing. Bien Junwoo took the opportunity to aim for the zombie's throat. As it staggered, he stepped forward, shoved his gun into its mouth, and finished it with an execution-style shot. Calmly, he blew the smoke from his weapon. Xiao Meng suddenly shouted, Zombies are escaping. The white monkey and 6 bronze-armored zombies are fleeing while the swarm holds us back. Bien Junwoo's expression hardened. Now we can confirm it. The white monkey is the Zombie King. The others are just distractions to buy time for its escape. Let's move. We catch him today. As the swarm rushed at them, Beyond Junwoo's eyes began to glow gold. An intense light radiated from him, incinerating the zombies into dust. He put his sunglasses back on. Let's catch him. At the Yangsheng base, the zombies near Yangsheng base suddenly halted and began retreating. Xiao Honglian looked around, bewildered. What's going on here? Inside the substation tunnel, the Zombie King, riding on the back of a bronze-armored zombie, fled deeper into the tunnel. Bien Junwoo shouted, "That's him! Catch him alive!" The black-haired rifleman peered through his scope and fired a shot, striking the bronze-armored zombie's leg. The Zombie King tumbled to the ground, eating pavement as he fell. Lieutenant Changqing seized the opportunity, charging forward and pointing his spear at the Zombie King's neck. Bien Junwoo approached as the bronze-armored zombie growled and stared him down. "So, this is the Zombie King," Bien Junwoo remarked coldly. "The one who has terrorized Tianhai City with its swarm." Woody crossed his arms. "I thought it'd be a stronger foe since it can control so many zombies. What a waste of time." Lieutenant Changqing nodded. "It makes sense though. The Zombie King is the brains behind the swarm, not the muscle. His lack of physical strength aligns with his role as a controller." Xiao Meng added, "You could tell he was weak by how cautious he was during every encounter. His body is too fragile. He hides behind the swarm for protection. Without his army, he's just as vulnerable as any human." Bien Junwoo leveled his gun at the trembling Zombie King and muttered, "Let them destroy themselves." The Zombie King screeched in fear, a guttural grrr. Suddenly, a bronze-armored zombie lunged forward to protect the king. Lieutenant Changqing laughed, "Ha ha," and swung his spear with tremendous force, slicing the armored zombie cleanly in half. It was Lieutenant Changqing, one of the team murmured, and his superpower, Iron Fist. Bien Junwoo turned back to the Zombie King. "Trying to play tricks on us? It's over." Without hesitation, he fired a single shot, making a clean hole in the king's head. The team sealed the Zombie King's corpse in a body bag. Bien Junwoo observed the aimless movements of the remaining zombies. "This is," he muttered. The undead wandered aimlessly, staring blankly at the sky. Bien Junwoo nodded. Zhang Yi was right. Without the Zombie King's control, these zombies are nothing more than rotting corpses. The swarm has no intelligence or direction. Xiao Meng agreed. Their numbers don't matter anymore. They're no longer a threat to humanity. Eventually, they'll decay and disappear. The next day in her lab, Xiao Meng worked with a scalpel, muttering to herself, "I need to move quickly. Everyone is counting on this research." Later, she presented her findings to the team. "I've completed the analysis. This isn't any kind of ape or monkey. It used to be human. The body contains a massive concentration of the zombie virus, which exhibits biotrophic behavior. The king could infect corpses, turning them into zombies and establishing a symbiotic bond to control them. Each attack by the swarm fueled his evolution. He was becoming more powerful with every battle." Lieutenant Changqing frowned. "That sounds far too human-like." Xiao Meng said, "Does this mean we have to eliminate all the zombie kings around Tianhai City to solve the crisis?" "In theory, yes. Without a zombie king, the swarm becomes harmless. Even millions of corpses would pose no threat. But there's still a problem. If we assume there are multiple kings in Tianhai, where did they originate? Is there some sort of zombie emperor?" He paused, then continued. "A zombie king is either a mutated corpse or a superhuman. But how did the first zombie king get infected in the first place?" Xiao Meng shook her head. "It's a tough question to answer. The swarm is enormous, and the conditions are too challenging to trace the virus's origin. I believe the zombie king is just one class of zombie, like ordinary zombies or bronze-armored ones. They may have been created by a higher entity, possibly the first zombie king or an emperor. Their sole purpose could be to command the swarm." Lieutenant Changqing added, "At least we know that killing a zombie king neutralizes the swarm. That makes our mission simpler, even if the challenge lies in their numbers." Woody sighed dramatically. "How many times do I have to keep killing the dead? It doesn't even make sense. I wish we could gather them in one spot and just blast them all with my beams." Changqing smirked. "It's not that simple, or headquarters wouldn't have sent us." Bien Junwoo nodded thoughtfully. "Actually, gathering them in one place for mass elimination is a good idea." Woody beamed. "Boss, great minds think alike. You understand my style. But how do we do it?" Changqing asked. "The swarm has spread throughout Tianhai City." Kang Sheng interjected. "Gathering them all together would make their numbers terrifying." Bien Junwoo addressed the group. "The swarm has been singularly focused on attacking the 5 factions in Tianhai. Whether it's intentional or a need for food is unclear. So why not flip the script? Gather all Tianhai's residents in one area, then launch an all-out attack on the swarm. It would also help me verify my thesis. The others stared at him, startled. Thesis? Woody asked, raising an eyebrow. Boss, did you discover something? Bian Junwoo smirked. Until now, the swarm in Tianhai has expanded outward in small numbers, but most of them remain centralized here. Strange, isn't it? If their instincts drive them to spread the virus, why are they staying in Tianhai, a place with limited resources? Why target the 5 factions instead of moving to other areas? He paused for dramatic effect. I suspect there's a human mastermind behind this. The Zombie King might be a puppet for a secret force. If that's true, we need to find and eliminate this underground threat immediately. At Yangsheng Bay's surroundings, a soldier scratched his head. Why does it feel like the zombies got dumber? Xiao Honglian observed the mindless undead and said, I don't know, but it's great news. She watched as soldiers burned the zombies into ashes. Zhuge Qingting approached. Could this be the work of Jiannan's agents? Most likely, Xiao Honglian replied. She thought to herself, was this the meaning behind their sudden appearance? A 7-member team arrived, and within a day, they solved the region's biggest crisis. At Snowflower Cult Lanli, Jian scanned the snowy expanse. Where did that kid Kali go? He muttered, annoyed. His wife frowned. Chaos is still everywhere, and he's being disobedient as always. Suddenly, they saw Yuan Kongye at a distance. To their horror, she was stabbing Lele, who collapsed, bleeding onto the snow. Lele! Li Jian shouted as he rushed forward, but Yuan Kongye raised her hand, using her powers to hurl him back into the snow effortlessly. His wife stood frozen, not moving to help. Yuan Kongye sneered, You're filthy. You need purification. At that moment, Zheng Yixian appeared and wrapped his arms around Yuan Kongye. Your Highness, he murmured. Startled, Yuan Kongye replied, The original sin is unforgivable. I'm helping them cleanse. Zheng Yixian smiled reassuringly. I know, you're always right. Li Jian shouted desperately, Kaile, as Yuan Kongye and Zheng Yixian walked away. Li Jian stumbled back to his injured child. His wife suddenly noticed a figure hiding at a distance. Shu Babel, she called out. What the hell happened here? Weren't you with Kyle? Shu Babel trembled, her body shaking from fear and the cold blizzard storm swirling around them. She couldn't bring herself to respond. Thank you so much for watching. That's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to help me grow my channel. Your support means the world to me. Don't forget to leave a comment below. I love hearing from you. Let's keep the conversation going and get those analytics buzzing. Until next time, take care.